Good afternoon, Miss Stephanie. How are you today? Oh, she's still getting connected. Don't tell me they have no internet issues. Good afternoon. I was able to hear your echo. Now I can hear your voice.
Sorry, I was trying to connect with my phone since I'm in the office, but it didn't work.
Good afternoon. Great.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Stephanie. Much appreciate your time this afternoon.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you. I came across your website through another link and coming to recognize that I have looked at your product before for a house that I owned.
Okay.
To make my my deck. It never happened because I sold the property before, but definitely love the product that you have and the spaces that you can create. I love the outdoors.
Yeah, it is very nice decking. Yeah.
So what is, I looked at your email footer and it says material account manager. What does that mean?
So that means I wear a couple different hats. I do work in our supply chain group. So I work on our recycling promotions. So our community outreach and then just general education of correct plastic bag and film recycling. And then the other part of that is I procure all of the wood dust that we need at our plants to make our decking. So.
Okay. So when I did some research for this project for school, how those recycling places get, those recycling stations, how they get rid of all the stuff that they collect. Mm-hmm. And so the gentleman told me that I don't really have to go and look for somebody to pick it, to get it from me. They call me because they want my stuff.
Right. Right.
So you have a long list of different stations where they have those products that you need, and you work always with the same, or do you have to look around because you have other competitors who want that as well? Or
yeah, a little bit of both. So all of the grocery chains and store chains that we have listed on our website, those are all companies that we have agreements with to buy their plastic. So we set up 1, 2, 3-year term agreements to buy their plastic at a certain rate. And what happens is then we're buying it from their distribution centers. So that is that. Then we do have another portion of our buyers, and what they do is they work with all the different recyclers to kind of go around and hunt and find little small pockets of plastic and where it might be and who can get it and how can we get it compiled so that we can get it into a form that we can transport it and use it.
So recycling seems to be becoming more popular as the demand in that regard grows. Is more harder to get the materials you all use because there's more people trying to get it from them? It means the price goes up because the demand is growing, or how is the market stabilized at this point, and how does that feel?
So to kind of understand where the market is now and where it was, so prior to 2017, the market for plastic film was a little bit stronger, was a lot stronger because a lot of plastic was going to China and they would pay pretty significant pricing for baled plastic. 2017, they enacted the national sword in China. So they decided they would stop being the world's dumping ground, basically. And so they stopped taking a lot of recycling commodities, and plastic film was one of them. So domestically, what happened, there were not enough companies like Trex that could support all of the plastic that was being collected. So there was kind of a fallout, like where a lot of companies were, or businesses or recycling centers were recycling and collecting plastic film. They stopped because they didn't have outlets.
Yeah, because they would have to store it then.
Yes, they would have to store it. And, if you don't have a place to go with it, you can't store it forever.
Yeah.
It has resumed a lot. I mean, so that's been, I guess, almost 5 years ago, I guess, right? So the markets have stabilized some. The good news for us is it's still relatively inexpensive. We're not anywhere near the high prices that we had prior to 2017.
So in that shift actually benefited y'all as a company, so to get your material.
Yes.
So I don't remember. I remember when I sent the information along to your customer service that I added my basic concept. Did you seen it or not? Just
I don't think so.
Okay, it's all good.
I'm sorry.
So I'm just going because the current assignment that I'm working on now is looking for social. It's called social capital. So what do I have on connections with individuals that I can connect with that can be a resource for me of knowledge? And so I have chosen you as the person to be in my supplier industry kind of segment, that I can say, hey, I talked to somebody that actually comes out of the industry. Mm-hmm. So the idea that I'm kind of circulating for this class is this project is that I see there's a big need still for recycling. Mm-hmm. Here in Dallas, for example, we have Dallas City operating a huge recycling station, but if you are not a regular house owner, so you're in an apartment complex or some kind of association complex that has a private garbage service, you cannot even use the facility to recycle any of your goods, whatever the regular recycling service doesn't take. And there's a long list of stuff that they don't take. Right. But they're still recyclable. And coming from Switzerland originally, I know what is possible. I know how efficient and productive this can be. Right. And they have very clean looking, orderly recycling stations where people come and bring their stuff and kind of almost sort it out and then turn around and sell it again. And with that,
I wish we had that in the US.
And with that, then finance their employees, the maintenance of the place, and most of the time it's run by the city, so it's self-carrying. So the city offers it, but it doesn't really cost anybody in the town anything to have it operated because it's self-carrying. Right. And so I thought to use this concept, since we have as well a large population here that is living at the margin, that barely makes it beyond the margin because of whatever reasons. There's several of those, obviously. And I thought if we can combine those two issues and make one a win-win situation, help the environment with getting stuff recycled, and at the same time giving somebody a purposeful job and an environment that they may can work as well on those issues that they have, that they are in the circumstances that they're in. And paying for itself. So I'm trying to figure out, is this feasible? Is this idea even feasible, considering that what do I need to raise, or what do I need to focus on recycling that I can sell it again to a company like Trex?
So a few years ago, a company reached out to me. You're going to want to research them because they're doing something similar, but in Haiti.
Oh, okay.
And it's a company called the Plastic Bank.
Okay.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but he's got all kinds of YouTube videos. He's on LinkedIn. And I think he's from Canada. But anyway, so I'll tell you a little bit about what he's doing. So, because it's very similar, obviously Haiti is a very poor country. One of the things that he does is he has the folks there, they collect plastic bottles. They bring them back to one of their plastic banks, and they provide different forms of currency for them. So it could be, what do they need the most? Do they need phone cards? Do they need access to food and water? What do they need? So they have a certain amount of funds, I guess, or some sort of pay schedule that they use to help pay these people, to help bring them better quality of life through basically collecting what is trash. And then Plastic Bank then processes the material. So they take the bottles, they shred them down into like little tiny shreds. And then they work to find markets for the shredded plastic.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can say for us is they had a flat rate, and it was higher than the market. So we could buy at that, well, we didn't, but it would have almost been better to buy virgin than to buy this. So then it becomes where the struggle is you have to be able to connect that goodwill story with how the company, is it worth it for the company to pay a little bit more to have this recycling, to be able to tell the story of what they're doing.
Yeah, basically then say, hey, we're recycling, and on top of that, we're supporting a good organization.
Right. So the one thing I can say for you where it would be better is you're in the States. You don't have that extra shipping. They had to put it on a boat and then ship it someplace.
Yeah.
So you're already in the States, and so you could market the commodity at a lower rate.
Yeah. You brought up a good point that I haven't even thought yet, because the places that I've seen, they literally don't have any further processing. So do you recommend that if I would go and, for example, the plastic collection area, I would have to have a way to process that, those goods that I collect, or is there still a market without having it processed?
I think what you would have to at least be able to do is have a warehouse to collect it in and bale it. And then you would bale it into big bales, because you have to be able to get it into truckload form to be able to ship it anywhere.
To put it on a semi or whatnot.
Yeah. So that's for recycling markets. That's how everything moves in a recycling market, is truckload, tractor trailer quantities.
Yeah.
Unless you're going a short distance, but if anything that's going any sort of distance at all has to be truckload, especially with plastics, because they're so lightweight.
So light,
it takes a lot of plastic to make anything that weighs something.
Roger. And so from those places that you work with, are those more specialized collection places, or do you see there is a good number as well of where they have all kinds of things that they collect? Or do you need, is it more helpful if you're more focused on a certain specific category of recycled goods?
Or if you're
your perspective more beneficial, or versus a diverse recycling station?
So I think if we go with the grocery chain model, which is what you've seen on our website, so you have basically the store drop off. They drop the plastic bags off there. Then the internal shipping is utilized for that store's chain. Like, so I don't know what store you have there. Let's say it's Albertsons or Safeway.
Yeah, we have Albertsons. Yeah.
Yeah. So they take the plastic recycling, and I would say from the store level, they're going to collect plastic film. They're going to collect cardboard. They might collect plastic bottles, maybe, but I don't know. But definitely cardboard, plastic. And then the other thing that they will have is like any old produce that they want to send for compost.
Mm-hmm.
They take all of those things, they put them on a tractor trailer that goes back to their distribution center. The distribution center then compiles all of the plastic and cardboard from all of the like 50 stores that they supply groceries to. And they take it, they're just consolidators at that point. And they're baling their plastic and they're baling the cardboard. And then that's where the contracts come into place. A grocery distribution center can turn at least a load of plastic probably every 3 to 4 weeks because they're collecting from 50 different stores.
So,
but they basically are moving two big commodities there. They're moving plastic bags, stretch film, and then they're also moving cardboard.
Yeah. So is it for them like an additional income, or is it just self-carrying? They just
nobody does anything out of the goodness of their heart. To the bottom
line, not because it's a good cause.
They do it. Yeah. Nice. I know. Wait, so I'm on the recycling board in Virginia, and one of the things that we talk about is there's a dilemma between stewardship and recycling, because stewardship is kind of the feel good part of it, and recycling because it's the right thing to do and good stewardship of the earth and blah blah blah. And then there's the reality, which is there isn't recycling if you don't have a market and you can't ship it. So they're very competing. Yeah. Dynamic.
What does it help you if you have a hey, I'm going to collect it, but then I still need to do something with it.
Right. And a perfect example of that, I had a lady call me. She has a nonprofit called Wands for Wildlife. And so she has been collecting mascara, the wands for mascara, and she wants to recycle them. Well, they're a nightmare to recycle because you have at least 3 different types of material there. You have whatever the stick is, you have whatever the brushes are, and then you have the metal that attaches the brush to the stick. All of that has to be separated before she can sell it, because nobody has a way to recycle the wand as one piece. And she collected over 1 million of them and has no outlet for them.
Oh,
I know. So make sure you have an outlet.
You better find a solution for that first before. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's why I'm making my research right now fairly well to make sure that I have something that will work and it will be worthwhile in both directions. So I think for right now, what I need, I have the basic really informations that gave me already some additional important hints that I can think about, because I've never thought about the further processing. I thought that all happens on the other side, and obviously somehow it has to go from A to B as well. So
right. And I think just to kind of give you perspective. So, and this is what I talk about a lot with just people on the ground level, because they like a household, they think they might have, I have too many bags to take to the grocery store and recycle. And basically they have like 2 big black garbage bags of plastic and they want to mail it to me. And I'm like, well, A, that's going to cost you at least $75 to mail that to me. That's ridiculous. B, it seems like a lot to you, but Trex receives probably 30 to 40 tractor trailer loads of baled plastic every day. So it's not a lot. It's kind of, it seems like a lot to them, but on the grand scheme of things, we're getting in tractor trailer loads that are full of plastic every day. They have the big bricks of plastic. That's how we take them off the trailer and we stack them to warehouse them. So it is making sure, and I know that's going to be the same thing with cardboard or plastic bottles or anything like that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to bale it to make it transportable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got some additional homework now to figure out another step, but I greatly appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Kindness to give me your time today, that I can continue on that project. So
Definitely check out the plastic bank.
Yeah,
that is like, yeah, it is exactly or very, very similar to what you're talking about doing. And I think you could definitely get some synergy with him, even if you just reach out to him and kind of want to talk to them about some of the challenges that they faced and different things. I'm sure that they would.
I have every week, I have a set of homeworks to do. And so I know I reached initially out to you for another part of and it just like there's every week some kind of an interview that I need to do. So I have a feeling if I reach out to him, by the time that we have it all set up, I'll have another assignment.
I just remembered his name. It's David Katz, K-A-T-Z.
David again?
Katz, K-A-T-Z.
Okay, perfect. Greatly appreciate for that further information. See, already social, what is it, capital?
Yeah.
With people and networking. I love that. So greatly appreciate your time, Ms. Stephanie, and
you're welcome.
I wish you an excellent rest of the day and wonderful Easter with you and your family.
Thank you. You too. Let me know if you need anything else. I will try not to take 2 weeks to answer your email again.
Roger, I'll give you the final download when I'm done with the semester.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good day. Bye.